Hi everyone, this is Carla from DIY Happy Home, and I'm here today to make a delicious cast iron pizza. I've made many homemade pizzas in my oven, and I have been on a quest to find a pizza where the sauce doesn't sog up your pizza crust, where it's a nice crunchy but not too crunchy crust. Like you know, you can cook it however you want it. If you like complete crunch, a little bit less crunch. But I found for me, this pizza has turned out the best way. And I apologize. I have my ice cream maker going in the background, so if you hear some white noise, that's what it is. But I have my cast iron. It's a non-stick cast iron pan. This one is an Aldi brand. And I heated it in a 425 degree oven. And I have made in the past many pizza crusts. Today I'm using a store-bought pizza crust. This one is from Giant. It's the beer pizza dough. But I've made plain pizza dough. You can do whole wheat. And I've made it in my bread maker pizza dough. And it's very easy. But I love this pizza recipe because you don't even have to roll the dough out. I mean, it doesn't really get much easier than that. You start with very clean hands. My hands have been washed, obviously. And then here's your dough. I basically am just going to stretch this dough in the air until it's a similar shape. This particular dough does not have a lot of, some of them, they like roll back on you and you have a hard time. I guess that dough hasn't rested long enough. But I've greased my pan with just a little olive oil, and I've used my silicone brush here. I have a silicone brush to make sure the pan's completely coated in the oil. And I'm stretching my dough, I'm stretching it and getting it into a round shape, as round as I can, patching any holes. It kind of stretches on its own. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's going to start cooking this dough the moment I get it into the pan. So I can hear it sizzling because the pan's really hot. Just be careful you don't burn yourself. And I am going to use my clean fingers to just kind of push it along, or you can use a spatula to help it along. There we go. All right. So next, what I do I'm gonna lose power here. Oh no, please, no. I like to edge my crust with a little sea salt. I oil the top of the crust too. This is very important to ensure you have a crisp pizza crust. And you don't need a ton, just use your pastry brush here to go to the edges. Also, I'm going to add sesame seeds on the edge of my pizza crust, or you could use Parmesan cheese or everything bagel seasoning, or just leave it plain. I used to go to Little Caesars back in the day, and they had the best sesame crust pizza, and I never forgot it. You know, the pizza itself was okay, but the sesame crust part was my absolute favorite. I tried to recreate that here. I'm going to put a little garlic powder on the edge. It's going to be like a garlic sesame crust. Basically, olive oil down in the hot pan. Put your dough down. Then you're going to put a little more olive oil on top. And then generally I would salt the rim and put garlic powder if you'd like. And then you're going to come in with your cheese. Now, I am using today sliced mozzarella deli cheese, but you can use any kind of cheese, and I do crust to crust with mine. And again, you don't have to do that, but I like the cheese all the way in the crust, and sometimes I tear it to fit so I don't have like too many overlapping layers. But also I've used just, you know, I like grate your own mozzarella as well, but I'm doing this because I have 3 kids and this is a really quick shortcut for me. So I just go around with this mozzarella. This is Boar's Head mozzarella, but I would just use whatever your deli has. And Galbani mozzarella is another one of my favorites. I love Galbani brand cheese. Okay, let's get all around the edge here. Every little spot I want covered. Anything that's on the edge will go and make your crust really cheesy and delicious. Okay, so Let's fit that puzzle piece in there. There we go. Next, I'm going to put on some Italian seasoning. You, of course, put on whatever you like. You have, my basil in my garden is still small. I'm waiting for it to sprout up. And now for sauce. I'm using Don Pepino's pizza sauce, which is my absolute favorite. And with the sauce, I don't want to go nuts with it. I'm going to do little blobs of sauce. And the cheese, when it melts, the sauce will disperse. And I find it's the perfect amount to just do little blobs. You still get that saucy taste, but, you know, not too much, and it doesn't sog your crust up. You can do little blobs, big blobs, whatever you want. It's really what you like. That's why pizza is beautiful. I'm keeping mine plain, but I do love veggie pizza, but my kids aren't. Only one of my 3 kids would eat a veggie pizza if I made it, so I'm going to stick with the plain today. You could use Locatelli cheese here on top, or Parmesan, or whatever you have, but I find the cheese, it makes it salty enough with that. But I'm going to go on the edge with going in with my sesame seeds. Again, you can use, I haven't done everything bagel seasoning, but that's one of my ones I'm going to do. You could do a Parmesan crust, you could do a garlic crust, you could do stuffed crust, whatever you like. And I'm going to do a little bit more. This is going to get super crispy on the edge. I'm going to do a little more sea salt and garlic powder. It makes the edge really yummy. Okay. It's going to be like a garlic bread on the edge, sort of. And I love a sea salt grinder, so that's what I'm going to use. There we go. This is ready. Now this pan, it's ready to go into the oven. It's set at 425, and I'm going to set it for 6 minutes, but then I check it. I think last time I cooked it for 6 minutes, then another 5, and then another 4 minutes until it was to my liking. So 425, and here we go. I'll show you what it looks like done. This is it so far. Looking good. Okay guys, this is the delicious after. The crust is crisp on the bottom and the top. Super bubbly looking, and it really is delicious. I'm gonna try. Yum. I can't wait to dig in. There is the pizza, looking delicious. I made a couple of side salads, wedge salads. It's breezy because of my ice cream maker. It's Friday night, baby. It's time to eat. Movie night? Maybe. We'll see.